Hey guys, welcome back. It's time to take a little look at an incident with PSA. This is not the first, this is not the last incident where you're going to have cards that get damaged by the graders, by the grading companies, and it's usually a pretty big headache. A lot of this, whether it's lost stuff, damaged stuff, swapped out stuff, anything like that, you're typically going to have to fight with them a little bit. You're going to have to put your Karen pants on. You're gonna maybe pun intended, because we get Karen's Umbreon in this example, but I think this is a good little lesson, a good little thing to look into for anyone that is grading, so you can know what you're dealing with here. I have a similar incident, looking to see how that wraps up with not a grading company, but with the Pokemon company, in terms of the damaged product. My shopping cart Charizard, that usually they're pretty good with replacing damaged product if it's straight out of a pack. I'm not going to send everything in there. Like, if I have a reverse that's damaged or something like that, I've had many reverses that were damaged in the past. Like, sometimes, like, opening like cases of product, and just every reverse was thrashed up. So I did send those back. They did compensate me for those. Having a little bit of an issue now with the Altart Charizard that I received out of the pack. That, like, the back side of it is just it's not good. But on topic here, we're into the grading card companies damaging your stuff, and this is maybe the best incentive, or most. I think the lesson to be learned here is definitely take photos or videos of everything that you're submitting, so that if they do damage stuff, you can say, here is what it looked like before I sent it to you. You guys did this. It's going to happen. Even if they were even head graders, like handling cards, they can get damaged. They're pulling cards out of semi-rigids all day, all night. And some of them are bound to get damaged, whether they drop them, whether they press them too hard, whether they take them out of the semi-rigid wrong, too vigorous. Maybe they dent it with a fingernail, something like that. It can happen. It's a thing. It's a real thing. It's a real threat. Same with shipping. I mean, shipping, you shouldn't have too much of an issue if it's packaged properly, unless it just straight up gets run over by a forklift. If everything's in a semi-rigid and everything's packaged in a box properly, you shouldn't run into this issue. But here we have it. We have Swolpoke on E4 who made this thread here, and just nice to see, not nice to see, but a nice look into the headache that is involved in getting your stuff paid out. So there is a PSA guarantee for authenticity and the grade itself, but my God, they do not want to pay it out. It's like insurance. It's like anything else. If they can avoid paying you any money, if they can avoid an issue, different story. If it's a counterfeit card that they graded and they messed up and they really want it back, then they're probably going to try to buy it back from you, because it's in their best interest. But also, just anything like this, if they damage a card, that's what the fees are supposed to be for, right? The extra fees, the upcharges and all that stuff. That's what this is supposed to be paying out. Their insurance kind of thing. But yeah, again, they don't want to unless they have to. Now, Swolpoke's thread here. PSA damaged my card, denied it, gaslighted, then admit they damaged it 7 months later and paid me out. Damn. All right. So, for starters, the purpose of this thread is not to trash talk PSA, but to hopefully serve as an encouragement for those times where you're 100% positive a card has been damaged on their end, and that you can / should fight to get a payout for it. Yeah, and that's the thing too. It's just like, you got to be able to prove it. Or they're going to be like, no, it was there beforehand. It's an uphill battle. And if you don't have some sort of photos and or evidence that the card didn't have that damage beforehand, you might. I know there's probably people that are like submitting thousands of cards and they can't do that. They don't have time to do that. It's not a viable option. But if you're submitting stuff, if maybe you want to take photos or videos of the more expensive stuff that you're submitting, or if you're doing smaller submissions and everything's kind of valuable, you probably want to just do it for everything. It's a pain in the ass. It's an extra step. It's a lot of extra work, but you got to protect yourself. Story starts back in April of this year. I had purchased a Pokemon Japanese Water/Fire versus booster pack on Yahoo Japan. The day the pack arrived in the mail, I decided to crack it open for fun. I don't normally record pack openings, but for whatever reason, felt inclined to do so. To my surprise, I pulled the top chase card, a Karen's Umbreon. Spoiler alert, this is the card PSA damaged. The damage that was found after sending it to PSA was what looked like a fingernail indent or an indent from pen writing. The sort of damage obviously isn't factory done. It's also worth noting that PSA gave the card a PSA 8 grade originally, even with the damage. So this kind of thing you can have damage on the holo. One of my Skarmories had a little bit of a mark on them. If you haven't seen, guys, we're opening Versus. I got a couple more Versus packs, some more Japanese haul, and we're going to do some Ultra Prism opening on Tuesday. But the holo is on the front side of the pack, so it clearly, I think this is obvious enough that he would have noticed it when he opened the pack, but not, necessarily. It could have happened within the pack. The holo's on the front. If someone scraped it, dented it, poked it, whatever you want to call it, the holo's right on the front there. It's kind of a terrible setup the way that they had it that way, but you can have damage on the surface through the pack, but not saying that's where it happened. If it wasn't there beforehand, it was probably PSA, the employee, or whoever that decided to not decided to. It's probably accidentally damaged this bad boy. And even judging by the grade on it, I'm going to say that it probably wasn't there. It might have been even when they were putting it into the case, when they were encapsulating the thing. But who knows? Here's a clip of the moment I pulled the card. The quality isn't great in the upload, but in the original video, you can see the surface is clean. All right, so let's freaking clip champ.
Oh, let's go. Yeah, baby.
Pretty sick. So definitely the top hit, the best hit that you can get from Versus, but also from those Water Fire half decks, 30 card packs. Very expensive. But that's the big banger. 1 in 4 chance essentially of getting it. So it's not like hunting the Moonbreon, but the price of the packs kind of, it might as well be. Anyway, moral of the story, don't give up. Fight the good fight. It sucks. Oh, wait. No, we skipped a paragraph. With the PSA's new system in place for handling this sort of thing, their CRC team was contacted to review the damage. This part of the process is the worst and purely just a waiting game. There isn't much worth noting here, since anytime you reach out during this process, they will just hit you with a, we're still reviewing this case. I'd like to know how much they actually check the cameras, and like, with something like this, are they really even going to be able to tell? How well it's cataloged, I guess, to be able to go like, okay, it was this submission, so we know it's part of this, and in this recording. Hard to say whether they're saying that or doing it. Or the few times CRC did get in contact with some sort of solution, they of course made the claim that tapes were reviewed, yada yada yada. Same old PSA responses, and said that this damage wasn't done while in their possession. To make a long story short, after a lot of fighting back and forth, it's pretty much what it requires. 7 months to be exact, they finally admit the card was damaged while in their possession. Maybe it was just so they could close the case and move on, but hey, I'll take it. So it could be like, if you're a loyal customer, or I guess you're a customer regardless, they got to kind of weigh out like, how much is this going to like, is it going to impact, like, are you going to submit less cards to them? Are they going to make less money because of that? Are you going to make a social media post about it? And then someone makes a video about that? It's hard to say. Thankfully, having that recording of me opening the pack was my only ammo to defend myself. After they had admit they were at fault, CRC had multiple head graders. Oh yes, always the head graders. You gotta have the head graders. Look at the card to determine what the grade would have been without the damage they caused, to no one's surprise. They all said the card would have been a PSA 9, but now is a PSA 7 due to the damage, meaning I get paid out the difference. in value between those two grades, which came out to a $400 check. Boy, it sure would have sucked for PSA if those head graders would have said it was a 10 though. Right, winky face? That payout is much better on their wallets, only being that it's a 9. So I think they might have, I haven't seen the card exactly, and it's hard to tell with the scans themselves are pretty bad. And the case seems like it has some scratches on it. But yeah, if it was a 10, they would have had to pay out a lot more money. So it's conveniently probably not a 10. And then also on the bottom end of things, usually anything that has a dent, a ding, or a crease, or anything like that is like automatically a 6 or lower. So were they giving it a 7 for the sake of making that dollar value smaller? Still nice that he got a payout, but he might have got shafted on the payout as well. Anyways, moral of the story, don't give up, fight the good fight. It sucks, could take close to a year, but this is my second time really putting up a fight with PSA and winning a payout because of a card I was 100% sure they had damaged. Good luck out there, comrades, and may the odds be in your favor. Salute emoji. Yeah, so even here in the comments, we have EV Team saying that damage is an auto 6, so they gave it a 7 to lower the payout amount. Beautiful card, though. So yeah, like a 6 to a 10 is probably pretty wild in terms of dollar value. This is what PSA does. This is the way. Also, your luck opening packs is insane. So 25% chance. There's 4 different holos that you can pull from each of the different types of packs. So your odds they're pretty good. I mean, that's the one you want to hit. If you hit anything other than the Umbreon, you deleted a ton of money. But Swopoke says, my misfortune with PSA balances it all out. I think giving a pack fresh Japanese new back at PSA 9 is a real crime. LOL, the difference in value is a couple $1,000s. Yeah, it's pretty big money. Pretty ridiculous. What do you guys think? Have anyone? Oh, I should also mention that Swopoke, everyone that's wondering where the lore of the mayonnaise comes in play, he's the one that graded the Kyogre Art Academy. And it came back, it had like white stuff on it. It kind of looked like hopefully it wasn't mayonnaise, but there was something on there. That was pretty ridiculous. And I don't know if that's what he's referring to, but now you guys know. That's the lore of the mayonnaise reference of the grading company's always playing with mayonnaise. That's all I got for you today. Little quick one. Some exciting stuff coming up this week. Like I said, the Versus opening, the Japanese Hall opening, the Ultra Prism, all of it. Excited for that stuff. I have an absolute mess on my desk here. I think I'm coming down with a cold, but I'm gonna rest up. I'm gonna get some rest. We're gonna come out with some sick, nasty videos this week. So look forward to that. You guys have a good rest of your weekend. Take care. Join the Discord.